and we should all be sorted. I'm just gonna make sure that my own audio levels are fairly decent, because it's been a while for me since I've been in the commentary box, and especially alone. So I'll quickly mute up, and I'll come back later. It actually seems to be all right. So that's very nice. Welcome everyone to PSGL F4 round number 3 for season number 33. Today we are racing at Le Castellet. And unfortunately Nico has already left the session, but it seems to be hopefully that we will be able to get quite an entertaining race going on. France is in real life a fairly boring circuit, but in the game it can often be quite entertaining with different strategies, maybe even a threat of rain, who knows. We will all find that out in the upcoming 1.5 hours. Also still loading into the session, and then we're finally ready to get round number 3 underway. We go. It seems to be fairly wet, if I'm being honest. All the drivers are on soft tyres, but it seems to me like it's just been raining, or if it's gonna rain very, very shortly. So let's see what everyone will do. Just to quickly hide the UI and the menus here, but everyone seems to be staying up for a fairly long time. You see some movement there in the Mercedes pit box, wanting to to get ready quickly, but Marcel Grisny is out as the first driver. I hope that the audio levels are quite okay. It's fairly loud for myself, but this should be fixed now. Just trying to see, because we are missing AC today. That's why we do not have 20 drivers in the lobby. Lewis has now joined in because he is replacing AC. I think AC has been... he needs to go to the hospital. That's the news we have got. So all of our thoughts are at AC, hoping that he is fully okay. And that he's all fine. I'll try to invite Nico in quickly. I cannot invite Nico for some reason. Let me type his name in quickly. I'm sorry, boys, for the lack of screen time, but I do appreciate it that everyone gets to drive. I can't find his name. Okay, well, that's not for me up to decide. Marcel Grisny heads back into the pit lane. He's done an outlap there, and he thought, no, it's not good enough. I will head back into the pit lane and retire. So I believe that he did have a qualifying ban. That would be the logical thing to assume. Let's go on boards with MI Slash. Slash has been a very quick driver for a while. Been competing in a league called League of Europe. And I've raced against him in the past, but recently he's really started to show up his pace and really showed why he is one of the quickest guys on the PlayStation platform, coming through turn 1 and turn 2 right there. Want to keep as much momentum as possible and really use everything, all of these extremely low curves. You can really cut it nicely through turn 3 and turn 4, and then you want to quickly turn into turn 5 and take as much momentum in there. I've also got the first sector split 22.191, and you want to take as much momentum as possible onto there. But also here get the first real overtaking opportunity, which pretty much leads up to overtaking opportunities for the full remainder of Sector 3. Nico is fortunately back into the lobby. We get a quick hairpin in between there, which was made so the F1 cars actually have a move to go there. But there are a lot of different layouts that could be run there. Purple middle sector 49.9, so they're already below the 50s. And here we go now into turn... into the long right hand. I forgot which turn it actually is. which is poor on my side. But we keep it through here. In sector 3, you got a lot of long handing corners. Just keep coming and coming. But now we are going towards the end of the lap. You fully drained the battery here. Now coming up towards the final corner, Steve Happen, where you can see some late moves at the end of the session, which could surprise people. But Slash will be the first driver to set a lap time in. What will it be? It will be a 29.9. So let's see what his teammate Van Gaans will do. He will go to a 30.1, slots it into P2. Kart Racer coming in there on P3. Ruti Gallet going to P4. I tried to go on board with him. It's all going fairly quick. You got not Daniel, it's his teammate Tails BR coming towards the line up to P6. Not the greatest lap time from him. We got a Red Bull coming towards the line. I think that would be Sam. No, it would be Lynx. I scrolled right past him. Talent Factory member Lynx going up towards P6 again as well. We got McLaren coming onto the line, not saying a valid lap time. It would be Francesco or Slinky, both of the Juventus drivers. We are Diogo Silva having an invalid lap time, so he will not be saying a lap time right in. He will be going for it again right here. Francesco, meanwhile, going up to P4, which meant that the McLaren who invalidated earlier would have been Slinky. Now see who's coming towards the line. Rodas coming there. Has a lot of loss of grip coming out of the final corner, and he's only set to 31. That's not really a good lap time. Let's see what Samba can do. He goes all the way up to P8, just behind his teammate. And let's see what Daniel can do for Virtual Intensity Racing. I think the team name is called. It's a German team. A lot of very talented and quick drivers. So they are definitely a team to watch out for. Mercedes coming towards the line there. And Toxic Tomato starting his lap now again after doing a double out lap. I guess he invalidated on the first lap. And Zabi also coming out of the pit lane. See if there are any other people on an out lap or on a hot lap. But it doesn't seem like there are any drivers who are indeed on that lap. And then it does turn out to be fairly chill. Slinky actually, he is on a lap. And I asked earlier, who is good, who is quick here, who do we need to watch out for? And pretty much both the McLarens, their name popped up. So Slinky is definitely apparently a contender for pole position. He slots in just behind his teammate into P5. I say apparently because I am not the full-time commentator here. I am only a reserve commentator. Diego Silva and me are going to P12, but I'm a reserve commentator. So I pretty much fill in wherever there are no commentators. And this week, it actually turned out to be no commentators available for F4. So it's just me, which is not my strong point. I'll say it right now, it's not my strong point commentating alone, but I'll hopefully make the most out of it. Nico, luckily he is back in the session. He is going for it again. Right here, right now, and Provatox seems to be coming towards the end of a lap as well. I raced against Provatox in a lot of Dutch leagues in the past. He used to be fairly washed, used to be able to beat him, but it seems like he has picked up the pace as well. He goes into P9 at 30.421. So the whole grid is very close together. If you look at it from Slinky with a 0.3 all the way down, and Slinky's in P5, all the way down to P12, which is Sambo with a low 0.5. A lot can happen here at France, which is not a small circuit at all. Let's just see what happens there. You got some more yellow flags, which is a McLaren going slowly. Let's just go on board with Nico and let's enjoy the pace here. It's a 50.1, so that was slower than the lap time we saw Slash do. Is still on pole, so the first lap time of the session that we have from Slash is currently good enough for pole position. But let's see if Nico can improve on that. All looking fairly clean so far. And there he is going through the final corner now. Coming towards the line. Let's see what lap time he can show us. Where does he go? He jumps all the way up to P4. That's a very good lap time, being 2/10 off the middle sector there, off Slash. That is a really good lap time there from Nico. And he gets himself all the way back up to P4. trying to find something meanwhile. That's why I'm a bit quiet. Okay, and now we can go back at it. You can see drivers going for lap times now again. I think there's not really someone on a lap, and I missed who's the first one currently on a lap. Let's go on board with Van Gans then, because he is half a tenth down into sector 1. Now coming on this very long straight, coming into the Montreal corners, which is a very quick left-hander turning immediately into a right. You want to catch as much as possible of the left side inside curb, and I want to have a wide line through the other one, so you can get a good exit for this another relatively long straight, keeping your momentum, keeping up your pace. It is a 49, so that means he is on pace to beat Slash, aka his teammate. Both Haas drivers seemingly are very quick here, and they are doing it very nicely so far. I'm keeping my eye on the scoreboard as well to see if anyone is indeed improving on that lap or not. Slash is now starting his lap time, so we'll definitely be keeping an eye out for him, because he has started slashing off very nicely with a 1.5 tenths gap to anyone else. But can his teammate EJ Van Gans beat that lap time? Comes here now out of the final corner, out of ball, going towards the line, and let's see what he can do. He sticks it still in the 30s. Not the greatest last sectors, and it means that still Slash is on top. Next up is Ruti Gallet, 2.5 tenths quicker. He goes to pole, 29.8 50. We don't, it's pretty much 50 here, let's be honest. We can see both Red Bulls are here, Lynx and Samba. They are starting a lap time fairly close towards each other. Diogo Silva also starting a lap time right now, so I'm really trying to see who is now on a lap closing down. Daniel starting one as well, Francesco starting one. It would be, I think, Toxic Tomato who is next up across the line, although that AlphaTauri up ahead does seem quick as well. But let's stick on board with Toxic Tomato, because he has been a veteran of the scene. He has been here for a long time. He's been very quick. I believe he even competed in PSGL F1 and all other tiers. I think it was Stills who won up to P7, but there goes Toxic Tomato up to P3, showing his veteran pace on a track that is fairly new here actually. Very nicely done. Slash actually had to abort his first lap, so he will not be showing a competitive lap time right here. Let's go on board with one of the McLaren, Slinky in this case. They were tipped to be the quickest guys here for today, but Slinky himself said, no, my pace is not really feeling all too good, and he's not really showing the pace that people were expecting from him. Slinky now coming up towards the line as well. Can he hop into the 29? So he can't, he doesn't even improve. I thought he was going to reverse back, but luckily he did not disqualify himself that way. That would be quite embarrassing. Meanwhile, Daniel is down by 0.2 of a second as well. Let's see by how much he can improve. Second runs there, nearly coming to an end for everyone. Daniel goes up to P2. That's a very good lap time. Into the 29s he goes as well. And that is very nicely done from him. Let's go on board with Zabi, the NLR driver. Proud to be NLR on his case. Taking some interesting lines there and a bit abusing the track limits right there. Don't think that is all too appreciated. I don't think this lap time can't be really that great, and it is P19. Zabi, that's a bit shocking. Being honest, I don't want to slack off everyone, of course, but Zabi there with those mistakes in the final sector, not being able to set that perfect lap time he was probably looking for. And let's see what's up now. Meanwhile, by the way, huge credits to Lewis, because he got called up like whilst the session had started. I think he got called up, and he has showed himself to be worthy of this tier already, going out into P6. Meanwhile, Provotox did set a lap time which is good enough for P8. Is Slash going to go again? Or is it still the same lap? I am confused. I think it's the same lap for Slash. but that line looked weird through there, and he's just about slower. Because I was going to say, it's weird to start on a lap right now, but Slash is unable to beat his previous lap time, and he will be keeping it out there in P3. But he did not improve on a lap all the tires, which definitely does not give him an advantage. But with better grip, it did sort of, kind of equal out. And now we're pretty much just waiting for their final runs to occur, to amends. Diogo Silva, the WR driver, going up into P14 there, and then, ooh, naughty boy, cutting the corners there. Don't think that's all too appreciated. But I understand it. He wants to quickly make it back to the pit lane. He wants to do another run, which I fully understand. And it is smart. But don't cut the corners, little man. Yeah, now we're really just waiting. It's always this awkward period where you don't really see anyone out there on track. You're just waiting for the first person to go out there. And in this case, it is Nico with behind them one of the two Haas drivers, as in Vangagan. It's weird because he has the X in the name. I think it's like Vengans, but like I would be saying it in a French way. So I believe he is Australian. So it's a weird name for me to pronounce. Vengeance. But Vengans does sound cooler though. You have to give that to me. But no, let's just stick on board with Nico for now, because he will be the first person to set that lap time, and then you have a rapid train of all drivers just constantly coming in to set a lap time. Bit like NASCAR coming through there, absolutely flying. A lot of drivers are still in the pit lane, waiting for a long time. You've got 2 minutes 30 still left in the session, so I hope Nico doesn't get hit with all too much traffic. But Nico does allow himself to get 2 lap times, because it's easy to invalidate here in France. So if he does invalidate, he does give himself margin to go again. But let's stay on board with Nico and see what kind of lap time he can put down. Now coming up into turn 1, into Verrier. There. Quick left hander, want to cut as much as curb and really jump over turn 2, at least that used to be the meta. Now absolutely gunning it, coming into the hotel section, coming into the right and then back in left, and then for turn 5 on the right hand. I really want to keep him wide, as much momentum in there, but there he really screws up that lap. Does he continue or not? That is the question, because I don't think that snap was ideal. It definitely wasn't, but he is continuing now. Nico absolutely pushing it through. But that would have been a really painful mistake. Probably cost him like a 10th or so. So that is not ideal. Cutting as much of the inside there as possible. Really abusing all the low curves here at France. Will this be a 49? It's going to be a 50. Only half a 10th of a second down. If I was Nico, I would have aborted it. But that's why I'm not a driver anymore. Nico is fully going for it, knowing that he lost most of his time in the final sector. He really goes so close to the white line, nearly invalidating it. Really does that to perfection, really pushing, and now he cancels off the lap time. So he thinks, no, this is not good enough. Let's go up on board with Van Gans. He has binned off the lap time as well. So who else is on a lap time? Lynx was on a lap time. He has invalidated as well, so he has quit, and then there's no real person on a lap time. So I think we have to go on board with the Alfa Romeo of a kart racer, because he would be the first person now back onto a lap time. So kart racer will be the first person to set his final lap time in the I was going to say Q3 session, but in this short qualifying session. Kart racer absolutely gunning it there. Lynx, meanwhile, retiring in the pit lane, does not do another lap, which I find very interesting because he did have the time for it. Kart racer now, the NLR driver, really pushing that car to its extremes there, bit sliding on the rear end of the car, but he wants to get a solid lap time into the 29s. Let's see if he can make that happen. Coming through the final corner now, coming through Pond. Let's see what lap time he can put down. Going up to the store, opening the DRS. What will it be? Will it be a 29? It will not be a 29. He does not make it in time. Francesco and Slinky coming up towards the line. Slinky going for a 30.1. Francesco going, putting the exact same lap time down as his teammates. They are really close to each other on pace. Let's go on board. I was going to say with Nico. Let's go on board with Lewis. He improves, but slightly. I think he had invalidated his lap time, so that is not ideal. I'm a bit colorblind, so I don't know what guy is coming up next. I just have to scroll through it. It is Rodas. He is 3 tenths down currently, but that's still a massive improvement. He goes only to P14. Up next, I think it's an Alpine of Daniel. He will come towards the line now. Can he maybe hop into the 29s? Daniel has retired from the session as well. Daniel, 29.8. That is what we want to see here. That is also what we really love to see. Up next is the Ferrari of Nico. Let's see what he can do. It's too late to scroll down there. He goes to a 30 flat. Going 1,000 of a second quicker than Toxicometer. Toxicometer has invalidated. It's 1,000 of a second difference there. You got two Haas drivers. One of them is going to the pit lane. And the other one is Slash. He is going quicker on his time. He set his lap time in the beginning of the session. There's a lot of time in Q3 with more grip. Where can Slash go? Only to P4. He does not improve on himself, and that is the qualifying session. Ruti Khalid with his second run in this qualifying session. It was enough for him to take pole position for the French Grand Prix. As you can see right here, the Finnish NLR driver Ruti Khalid is on pole position, having the Dutch footballing go in his name, Ruti Khalid. At second place, we do have ADT Daniel in the Alpine, only being within half a tenth of a second within Ruti Khalid. In third position, we have VIR Daniel. Then we have got Slash, Nico, Toxic Tomato, Kart Racer, Lewis, Vanguard, and Slinky rounding out the top 10. In P11, we got Francesco with the exact same lap time as his teammate. Then we got Provatox, Tails BR, Rodas, Samba, Diogo Silva, Lynx, Fleddy, Zabi, and the person who is serving a qualifying ban, I do believe, is Marcel Grisny. And it is fully dry, fortunately. We had the threat of rain in qualifying, but it did not turn out to be eventually raining. But this is a much sunnier, much brighter day. I'm starting to get hiccups. That's the most annoying thing ever when you're doing comms. I've read the F4 chat, and there is not gonna be a restart. So in 20 seconds, we'll actually be having lights out and away we go. But not yet. We will be waiting to see what happens, and when the lights will go out, it will be very important to see who the greatest start has and who will be able to perform to its absolute extremes and to its highest levels. Here we go. We have 5 red lights. Ruti Khalid on pole for NLR. Can he keep that pole position going? Will he win the French Grand Prix? We are underway right in. It seems like Daniel has got a really good start, but there comes Slash there, all the way in P2, coming from the outside, and a really good start there, and he makes himself all the way up to P2. Ruti Khalid there, claiming P1, and it seems to be very clean, going all the way at the back. A big step there from TF Links, and he has maybe spun around. No, he still saved it. I don't know how. He had a massive snap back there, but up front you can still see Ruti Khalid there with that good start. You can see Nico trying to make a move here, but it actually fails, and he gets overtaken meanwhile by his teammate. Ferraris are scrapping with each other, and they lose a lot of time, giving there the advantage for Toxic Tomato to maybe make a move there as well. Provatox is really close up the back of the Haas. It was meanwhile back there. You saw a lot of movement. Lynx and Sabi really fighting hard there 2 or 3 wide there, coming in towards this quick corner. Provatox absolutely sending it. The Ferrari of Lewis there going very wide there. And Toxic Tomato is able to profit with a better exit, and he goes all the way up to P7. Let's see if Sneaky can profit from it. No, he unfortunately cannot do so. Very hectic opening, but that is what we love about Spain. Links meanwhile being very close on Sabi, going side by side here. The third sector here does incline. Great side-by-side racing, but the door gets heavily shot there by Sabi. Links and Provatox there, swapping around Provatox, sending it there up the inside, and indeed making that move. And he's looking up the inside of the Ferrari there as well, of Lewis, but he is unable to make that move stick. But he does go up the inside there. Provatox there on a lot of grip. He was indeed on the mediums. I was really checking because he seems to have so much more grip than everyone else. Let's see the tires. Provatox indeed the only person on the medium tires, so he will definitely be making some gains forwards and backwards there. Provatox indeed making a jump up to P8 Sabi. Meanwhile overtaking Diogo Silva. And it's been a fairly close opening lap. No big contacts, no damage. So everyone is still in the running, and we will have a DRS race currently ongoing with 20 drivers in it, so fairly stacked. Just trying to see if Provatox will be able to make a move on those fresher mediums, really putting pressure there on Toxic Tomato, who seems to be struggling if you compare it to the mediums of a Provatox. But those tires are fresh, and there goes a spinner. We got Sabi there going round. One NLR driver is in the lead, and the other one has gone round, and I believe he did also use a reset to track there to get back on the way quicker. Ruti Khaled meanwhile still in the lead. You can see the predicted pit stop strategy below as well. It will be an easy hard to medium, but in the case of Provatox it will be a medium hard. Provatox there absolutely pushing, and he will be sending it up the inside of Toxic Tomato, and he will be able to make another move up to P7. Most of the grip from these tires will be very useful into sector 3. He can break so much layer there compared to Toxic Tomato. That is absolutely incredible. The difference between tires there is so clearly visible. Provatox will be looking to make another move. He can just run a tighter line there, no dirty air, and he's already right behind Nico. Can he make that move stick there as well? Can he go all the way up to P6 already on this lap? He seems to be wanting to make it there. Maybe up the inside? No, he does not go for it there. Nico did not even bother to defend, knowing that Provatox was not going up the inside, and Diogo Silva unfortunately does have damage, or it's a very early pit stop, but I do assume that has to be damage. Let's go back up the front to the front of the field. Ruti Khaled there in the lead, not really having to burn down a lot of ERS, doing it very well, and controlling his lead. So Slash behind him has even more ERS, so no one is really pushing there in this grid. The only person really pushing is Provatox, because he is on those medium tires. I nearly said his real name. Provatox there really pushing, wanting to make those moves indeed as quickly as possible, but since it's DRS it will be very tough to overtake on the straights now. Yellow flag me. Well, Sabi has spun again. That is not ideal. Let's hope that he doesn't have wing damage. Let's just quickly investigate there. His tires are absolutely cooked though. You can see that that is far from ideal. Let's go and take a look. Once he drives past us, it does not seem like the NR driver has damage. So let's go back up towards the front of the field. Ruti Khaled still maintaining the lead, and it's all really forming out quite closely with not a lot happening. Let's see who is the biggest gainer in the opening lap time, or in the opening lap position change. Slash there gaining 2 positions after the amazing start that he had. Provatox is really profiting from those mediums, going up 5 places. So there's a move there. Nico having to defend there, and goes up the inside of Car Racer, was under pressure from Provatox, and he collides there with the side of Car Racer, and he gets spun round. Nico there going all the way back down towards P11. He really seemed to have promising pace, but unfortunately it was not meant to be for the NLR driver, and he is now on -6. But besides that, Fleddy gaining 2 spots. Marcel Grisny starts P20, is now all the way up to, he's already up to P18, so let's see how many moves he can be making. But if you believe the game, he will be a strong contender for driver of the day. But yeah, a very unfortunate spin there from Nico. Saw Provatox wanting to make a move, defended there, but just went onto the brakes way too late and made that contact happen there. Samba and Fleddy are meanwhile side by side. Samba making the move on QRT Fleddy. Fleddy does not seem like this is a good track for him at all, but he doesn't seem to keep a lot more momentum through there. Oh, that's a big mistake there from GTZ. Rodas, and he half spins there, stays into the train fortunately for him, but loses 3 positions right there and then. Let's see who's all interested as well. Samba being outside the DRS turn because Tails is really looking to make a move quickly on Francesco. He does not want to be waiting for a lot longer, and he is like, yeah mate, you have to go because I am a lot quicker. But he nearly makes a mistake there, going a bit too early on the throttle, getting the wheel spin out there. But there, wider line for Francesco. Will he dive it up the inside? No, he's just waiting there. Francesco going a bit wide there, but unable to profit from it is Tails. It's a fairly quiet race, if I'm being honest. Not a lot happening up front. Slash game very close. We're all within a tenth of Ruti Khaled to be making a move, and Slash might be thinking now, chop, either you up the pace or I will be overtaking you because your pace is not quick enough, and he's missing apexes, Ruti Khaled. Slash is thinking like, yeah man, I have to really make a move. I have to go out there and really perform and show who I am and why I am here. Slash really make the move right here. Oh, that will be a warning. I think it's well avoided from him there. Not opening the ERS, so he's just chilling behind there. Not hitting 100% ERS as well for him, which is good. Daniel was really close on the back of Daniel, but unable to make a move. And that's the real issue this game. You can be as close as you want to another drive, but unless they got less than 10% ERS, it's hard to make an overtake. But who can make an overtake is Provatox, because he is on the mediums and he goes up to P5, making a move past Kart Race. He has no ERS left, but he can really profit from the grip that these medium tires have. Both Alpines now behind each other. Will there be some team orders because Provatox is on the quicker tire? Provatox would love to get those team orders, but I don't think he will get them. Tails and Francesco are now side by side. Tails seemed to be a lot quicker early on as well. Going for a switchback now here doesn't unfortunately work because of the bend of the corner, but he does still stick it beside him. That's some great momentum that he was able to keep with him there. And then Tails is able to go not for the move just yet. They're still fighting side by side. Provatox has been led by his teammate Daniel, but they're still side by side at Tails versus Francesco. It shows a beautiful racing in Sector 3. That's why I love France on this game. You can really race nicely here, but Francesco is able to manage to keep his spot, and Tails will have to try again next lap. 30% is the ERS difference between the two, so I definitely think Tails has another shot in the near future. Let's just quickly stick on board with Provatox here, because he has just got so much more grip compared to the others, but making a move is the difficult bit here. Really close to Daniel, but you're just stuck, and it's really annoying. But he can't do a lot there. Lewis Mule being within 2 tenths as well, within Toxic Tomato, but you can't really do anything. A bit of fighting, a bit of early braking there from Slash. Provatox tried to maybe send something, do something which Daniel did not expect, but unfortunately it was not meant to be then as well. Just seeing and waiting for one of these moves to happen. I'm trying to find the ideal pit lap right here, but it should be towards the middle of the session. Provatox is really looking to make a move now. Maybe he wants to dive it up the inside, but just doesn't have the real perfect grip anymore, which he used to have on the beginning of the race. While Kart Racer and Daniel are actually side by side. I don't know what button I pressed. I pressed the button. I pressed triangle. There we go. Daniel was able to keep his position, but Kart Racer was really looking forward to making that move and actually going up the order. But he did not do so. The pit strategy here, I am expecting Provatox to pit fairly soon, but he's sticking in the train fairly nicely. But normally the mediums you would be pitting around lap 11 already, because there's really good tire here, and Francesco is the first person to get that penalty. In front, it's very easy to get that penalty, but Francesco is the first person in lap 7 who gets a 3-second time penalty. Really a lot that can be done. Slash waiting for so long. He's like, if I can sit in P2 this whole race, I know I got a lot better pace. Well, Provatox has made a mistake. He must have made a mistake, because Daniel, his teammate, has gone back past and he's dropped back down to P5. Heard a bit of contact. Has he maybe gone up the inside of Daniel, half spun, or maybe backed out and lost that position there to Daniel. I don't know, but I think it's time for Provotox to get himself out of there, to get on those fresh hearts, and maybe make another undercut on these guys, because the grip is just gone. You can see there, Car Racer being able to profit there, going for a move, wanting to go around the outside, whilst meanwhile Tails has spun, but there the invite is around the outside, made by Provotox, and he absolutely accepts it. Kart Racer, they're going for it, and need Provotox going into the pit lane there, and will be probably swapping onto the hards unless he has some kind of orthodox strategy that I have not seen before. Provotox, he really was able to profit from the mediums, but might have been able to pit one lap earlier, because he's just lost a position there by maybe being a bit too optimistic. Does he have wing damage? He has wing damage as well, so he must have made contact there with Daniel. That's why Kart Race had so much grip around the outside there, and that is really a massive shame for Provotox, running into third place. I don't know why he's waiting, he's probably glitched. And there we go, he goes back up the row again. We'll be ending up near Enel Zabi, who was spun 2 times. Yeah, it seems about right. He will end up between Zabi and Diogo Silva. So everyone else who will be pitting will be coming out just ahead of Zabi, I think. I'm expecting pit stops within 3 laps. Maybe even sooner, because the undercut is a strategy that drivers quite like to go for in this game. And oh, Zabi's gone around. I should stop mentioning Zabi, because every time I do he spins. That's just really unfortunate. But yeah, Tails had spun there as well, and I think Francesco and Sambi are indeed side by side. Samba wanting to make a move. He started fairly far back with quite the poor qualifying, but Francesco is really able to defend this car well. He has been under pressure quite a few times now, but has been defending every single track so far. Still no pit stops, it seems like. Everyone's staying out and waiting for the opportunity. Kart Racer really looking closely up the back of Daniel, wanting to make an overtake, wanting to make the move, but he doesn't. Who does make the move is Slash. He finally decides, okay, now I'm done with it. I want to make the move. It's just before pit stop time. I want to take the lead and be in charge of the pace. Samba, meanwhile, gone past Francesco into turn 1, but he does make a mistake there. Can Francesco come back there? I think he waits, and he's like, okay, you've got 9/10s on the DRS rate, and you're flashing. I definitely think I can take you on and maybe beat you in a DRS slipstream race. Let's see. The gap between Samba and Nico is 9/10, so he will have DRS, but it's a poor exit there from Francesco. So I think Samba will indeed remain the DRS. He doesn't even use anything. Francesco accepting the position lost there. Ruti Gunn is also not really overtaking him. Car Racer though does overtake Daniel, going around the outside there. It's a weird corner, because it really does allow you to make those overtakes around the outside. Daniel pushing a bit, being very close behind him, but Kart Racer just a lot more straight line speed here, and maybe also a bit more ERS that he used to get past him there. Kart Racer making himself up to P4. So currently very good results for both Alfa Romeos, greatest car in the world, by the way, car manufacturer. P2 and P4 currently for them. Lewis and Toxic Tomato swapping places. I think Toxic Tomato had a big snap coming out of the long right-hander, coming out of Bousset. Yeah, it's just a bit of a waiting game now. Seeing who will take the hit, who will be the first person to go in the pit lane, because it would be a very early pit stop. But I do believe that the hards are not a bad tyre on this track. But so are the mediums, but an undercut could be very OP and very good. And that might be maybe something that drivers want to look out for. Maybe someone like VIR Daniel, who's just been stuck in P3, not really being able to go past Ruti, not being able to get past Slash, and now under threat from Kart Racer behind, who is pushing, who wants to make the move, and he wants to go past VIR Daniel. Very close sounding right behind us. Provotox and Sabi are fighting, and Provotox has gotten past him there. Bit of a strange place to go for the move. Fleddy and Links are side by side. Links, yeah. Links a bit like the deodorant, I think. That's got wings, isn't it? Side by side here, but Fleddy is able to defend his position. Fleddy going from P18 back up to P13. So he's doing it fairly well. Also, same goes for Marcel Grisny. Starting P20,
back up to P15 now. So if he keeps it up, keeps making move in this momentum, he will be finishing in the points. Let's see, will we have any pit stops going on? I think someone went straight on there for pit stops, but I could be imagining things. I think I'm imagining things. Kart Racer really close up behind Daniel, wanting to make a move. Daniel not being able to really follow the pace well. Had to burn a bit of ERS there on the straight again as well. Yeah, they're just a bit stuck, and there's a massive gap again between Daniel and Kart Racer, so it's not really ideal for them. Just really have to see what the move is, what the vibe is that we are getting from them. Daniel going 3 times quicker than he's ever gone before in Sector 1. Means that he is pushing, that they are preparing for pit stops or something else, or that you have to just defend really hard from Kart Racer. Lewis within 2/10 of Daniel, can't really do a lot. Who can do something is Nico, because he does go past the ETA Vengeance, the Haas driver from ETA, falling back down to P10. He's not had the greatest of races. Good qualifying for him, but been dropping back in the race, and now he spins. I should just stop talking about people, because every time I do, I just pretty much just make sure that they end up in the wall. I'm sorry, mate. Really am, but I've got, sometimes, you know, commentators got the curse. Some people say it's not a real thing, but I mean, this is solid evidence right here that it indeed is real. The commentator's curse is real. Let's see. Will Slash be making a pit stop? You'll be having to follow the line. He won't go for it. Let's see. Will anyone go for it this lap? Well, I've written down lap 11 is quite a good lap to make a pit stop, but no one is going for it. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Bit of a mistake there from Ruti Khalid. Nearly outside of the second range now. Slash had the opportunity there to really push and to maybe get him out of the DRS. And I think he is pushing, but he's unable to do so because Ruti Khalid has driven himself back in the DRS. Oh, there's contact there. Diogo Silva and I think Zabi made contact, because Zabi had a really strange line going really wide. Maybe they stand on each other in the final hairpin there and made contact and went round. Still no safety car, because that's very uncommon here in France. But does he have wing damage? Because he just took that corner real weird. No, he doesn't. Zabi really struggling on pace today. Don't know how his pace is normally. Once again, I am a reserve commentator for the people that are new here, who has not been in the chat this whole time. We got 17 views, which I really appreciate you. Welcome. This is Formula 4 on the PlayStation side, and we're currently preparing towards the most entertaining part, or the second most entertaining part of the race, pit stops. You really see where the strategy's open and burst up. Slash now, meanwhile, coming through here, he will not be pitting. Still no pit stops, so everyone's staying out. Yeah, this is very different from what I would have done, but it works. It does the job. Wait, that this must be wrong, by the way, actually, that I'm talking of, because I've got a list showing you guys some insights, and it's fully wrong. Oh, I was looking at the wrong thingy. Ah, look at that. I've got the real pit stop time now. My bad, boys. No pit stop yet. I was just looking from when the pit tires could have made it, which was lap 11. So if there would be a safety car right now, it would be fairly common for all drivers to pit towards those mediums. But yeah, you really have to see what happens now. But they're just chilling. Hasn't really been any moves still. Francesco, though, he did drop out of the DRS from the driver's edge, and he has a penalty as well. So he is not looking all too quick in this race. Is looking very decent. Yeah, pretty much it's the whole of the top 10 train, because everyone seems to be very consistent running in their car races, looking to be the quickest one of them all in this train. Well, you haven't really been able to see the pace of Slash and Ruti Khalid, because they've just been cruising up front, not really using all too much ERS. Actually, they have been burning quite a bit of ERS since then, but car race on a lot of ERS. Nico the one lap that I say, oh, I don't expect pit stops now, they pit. That's amazing. Nico then, I assume you'll be going on to the mediums. And he will be going on to the mediums. The MNT driver, aka Mentalism, a team that recently celebrated their 5th year anniversary, which is incredible for an esports organization to stand up for 5 years straight. It's an achievement that even big teams struggle with. Nico there then coming out onto the medium tires. He will be the person that makes the undercut and decides to absolutely send it. And now it will be the question, who of the top 7 train now is, or top 9 train actually, sorry, will be responding to the undercut there, made by Nico. You also got Rodas who made the undercut, but he was behind in the train now. I got the hiccups, so annoying. Absolutely saying, I thought lap 15 was too early, or was early. Lap 15 is early, from what I know. But they definitely do last, because they can go to the end from lap 11 onwards. If you got good tire, you can do lap 10. So yeah, but that's just really calculating it. It's the only possible opportunity I think Nico could have gone for, and it's good to make the undercut. And Slash has to respond and to the undercut. Daniel follows him together with Daniel, Lewis, and Toxic Tomato. They are all pitting, but the people that are staying out are Ruti Khalid, Kart Racer, aka both Alfa Romeos, Slinky, and those are everyone pretty much staying out. Fleddy, Lings, and Marcel also they're staying out. But everyone will be pitting towards the mediums. And let's go on board with Nico then and see where he ends up, because Nico unfortunately does have the penalty. But it will be interesting to see where he will come out compared to all the other guys. Now coming up, Slash early gone. Van Gaan's there. Is that Van Gaan? Oh no, Van Gaan is ahead. Slash is there and he's slotting just behind Lewis. So I think the undercut worked a slight bit, but he does have temperature in the tires. So can he beat his teammate right now? It's Lewis versus Nico right here, and there are a lot of 1 second gaps here, so there will be a lot of fighting and pushing. The tires are so much warmer from Nico there, and he wants to make that move as quickly as possible. He is just stuck behind Lewis, showing him every single corner off of the track here, but there will just be a lot more grip there for Nico and DRS for him. So I think Nico will be able to make a really smooth sailing overtake there onto the straight. He opens the flap. Lewis does not open the flap, and it will pretty much just be an overtake on the straight. He even makes way, even makes room for him, and Lewis gets overtaken there by Nico. And now it's the question, will any of the Alfa Romeo boys respond, or will they both stay out, because they both got solid plates. Ruti Khalid is flashing, so I assume he will be in, and indeed he will be into the pit lane. Kart Race is staying out, but the guy who seems to have the best pace will be pitting later. It would mean that you will have quicker tires and a lot more grip towards the end. It wouldn't surprise me if Kart Racer would stay out for 2 more laps, because then you would definitely have an advantage on those medium tires, and maybe even be able to have a bigger impact than if you would have pit right now. People really like track positioning on this game, but fresh tires are very underrated. It's a strategy I tend to go for often myself. Let's see Slash, will he come out ahead of Ruti Khalid? He will, because there comes Ruti Khalid. He's ahead. Daniel is ahead of him as well, so he loses 2 positions there, and Daniel's really up on the back of him. Then he loses a position as well. Kart Racer there gets a penalty. The leader of the race, the guy who seems to be the quickest of them all, gets the penalty. And that is definitely not ideal for his strategy. What's the NL engineer just said? Kart is so consistent, and then he cursed him. Yeah, that is really unfortunate. Toxic Tomato also making a move past Juventus Slinky. I don't know if it's Juventus or just Juventus Racing. I don't know actually. I need to do some research on that. And then we got a spinner further in the back as well. That is Moabed. No, where's the spinner? Am I blind? Ah, Marshall spun. Marshall Grizzly. Started from last place with a qualifying ban, not been an ideal race for him, not really been able to make his way up the field as he would have wanted to. Kart Racer pitting then, and I was going to say, once you got a penalty, might as well stick out for a longer duration. but he decides to pit now. He will have 2 laps fresher tires, and pretty much the whole rest of the field was Slinky and Samba are side by side. And there's contact there. Samba going around. That's very unfortunate. Formula 1 hitbox there. He should have never gone round from that. Samba there, unfortunately, gets spun round, and there goes the race off of the Belgian who recently raced with the likes of Thibaut Courtois. So yeah, VIR Daniel currently setting the fastest lap of the session. Marcel Grishny staying out for a long time. I wonder if he will be waiting for a safety car. He will be able to continue all the way up to until lap 21, and then his tires will really start to wear off and die. But it's hard to get a safety car because the walls and the runoff areas are so big. Toxic Tomato 55389 gets the 3-second time penalty as well for multiple warnings. So it's really the battle now to see who gets down there. But Ruti Khalid is behind Kart Racer. That is maybe the most interesting thing for me. Lewis wants to make a move there as well. Was I stepped something in my headset? It hurt myself. That is very weird. But Ruti Khalid able to make the move there. He is flashing. Ruti Khalid must have made a big mistake. Big slide as well. He does not seem to like the mediums. Lewis being able to make a very easy move there. Sabi and Fleddy also getting these time penalties. Lewis there on the move, side by side there. Both to use ERS, but Lewis has more ERS than Ruti Khalid, still side by side there. He doesn't even make the move stick. So you now got a Ferrari sandwich with 2 Alfa Romeos in between there. Kart Racer goes back past him. Both Alfa Romeos side by side now. Can Nico profit? Let's expected this from Nico's POV. Is there any room? No, there's not. Well defended by both of the Alfa Romeos. And then we got 10 more races to go. They said races, I mean laps. But we're chilling there now. Marcel Grishny actually hopping into the pit lane now, hopping onto the soft tires, not even, no, the medium tires, sorry. I was going to say not even the soft. And Daniel gets a penalty. The guy was running in P2 there, unfortunately getting a penalty. Toxic Tomato making the move there as well. Nico there wanting to switch back. After the pit stop, the whole race lights up. I already told you about it. And it has happened. Slinky offering a penalty. Will be profiting 3 positions from that as well. So it will be key to not get a penalty here. And he might be able to profit as well from VIR Daniel. The guy in P2 who got a penalty. He will be now. Oh shit, I need to make a move. Can I swear? Oh, I need to make a move. I will be overtaking Slash right here, right now. He has been burning the battery. And he is going past. And Slash just passively concedes. He doesn't mind taking that into P2, and Daniel is flashing, so it might have not been the smartest time for him to go there, because there's a 2.2 second gap between the top 3 and 4th and below. So I think they just need to work together and they should be all sorted and done with. And that's the best result that Daniel could currently have, unless the Slash and Daniel, oh, you got Daniel and Danielle. Unless the Alpine Daniel and Slash collide with each other, Daniel does not seem to have a very big chance to win this race still because of those 3-second time penalty. Let's see, where would the next move be? I think it will be in this train here. Onwards from P4. I'm now on board with Nico because he seems to have very strong pace, but Kart Racer is really looking up the back of Ruti Khalid as well, but there are no team orders burning the arrestor from Ruti Khalid. They need to work together to secure at least the P4 and P5, but they were running P2 and P4, so it's really, really disappointing for both the Alphas. Slinky then, I was going to say Nico's looking to make a move, but Slinky then makes a move on Nico, and he goes up into P8. Slinky then was tipped to win this race by the people in the Discord. He goes now up to P8. Let's see how far he can bring it himself. He matched the exact lap time with his teammate, but he does seem to have better pace in the race. Ruti Khalid there, losing the DRS maybe even. He is really, really struggling at Kart Racer, being able to really easily fly past him there and go up to P5. The gap is now steady at 2 seconds. Lou is not really able to gain all too much. Let's quickly check the ERS levels. That's the wrong statistics that I'm looking at. That's also the wrong one. It's this one. Yeah, 8%. So he is flashing. That is very far from ideal. Could have seen it as well if I went there. Toxic Tomato getting past Ruti Khalid meanwhile. Ruti Khalid really struggling. On pole sitter, had a really good qualifying pace, but just doesn't have the race pace. still just waiting to see where can you make the move, where can you not make the move. Francesco's outside of the DRS range from Nico. He really wants to get in, maybe needs some help from his teammate Slinky, but Slinky's meanwhile just looking to make a move. Ruti Khaled still derating, and Slinky should be able to easily fly past him if he does have the sufficient amount of ERS, but he is low as well. I think he's on like 12%, 8% even. So both drivers there derating, so it will be difficult for Slinky to make that move stick, especially since they got Ruti Khaled has got newer tires than him. Will be difficult, but let's see if he can do it. Oh, the Ferrari goes over Lewis. He went wide there. I saw it up ahead, and the kart racer is able to profit from that. Side by side there, the kart racer has way more momentum. He goes up ahead of him for P4. The gap is 2.4 seconds now between P4 and P3. So Daniel does seem to have a really solid chance to at least take home P3 with his penalty. He was chilling in first place, but he is pushing. He is on absolutely 0% ERS and still murdering that battery. And Slash is just chilling now. He's like, sup, how are you doing? You want to run away? Nah, let's not. He is chilling on 20% ERS, which means electronic recovery system, I believe. So Sesko was not unable to get in the DRS on the last lap, and he's now really under massive pressure there from Fleddy. I wonder if Fleddy will wait with the move or if he will send it there somewhere in sector 3, because he's a lot quicker, but he does see that Francesco is derating, doesn't have DRS, so then it will be a very easy move later on into the race, or at least later on into the next lap, because he will be probably making the move onto the straight. ETH Van Gans getting a 3-second time penalty as well, so I believe he has got 8 seconds of penalties right now. Oh no, not 8, I don't know, 8. I was going to say 6, but he doesn't. He just has 3 seconds. Fleddy unable to make the move here, so he has to wait until the main straight. Kart Racer's pace is really strong, by the way. Brought the gap already down from 2.4 to 1.7, so he is pushing and he's carrying that whole train with him. Slash is outside of the DRS range. He just about gets in, but he now needs to start to be pushing a little bit more because it's starting to get very, very close. He does open the DRS lead, he only gains 2 tenths. And because he is quicker on the straight line, he does have to brake earlier there, so it doesn't really make all that much of a difference. But you only gain 3 tenths from that race. Also drop my controller, that's not ideal. It's not my controller either, because my pad unfortunately died today. Really unfortunate. Yeah, Ruti Khaled there does seem to be losing the DRS train maybe as well. Which will be ideal for Slinky, because he is looking to make that move stick and go for it as well. The pace of kart race is just supreme. Absolutely sublime. Already in a second, and he's going to drive Lewis outside of the second. He has. Lewis is outside of the second. Those 2 lap fresher tires really help you here, and that's what I said. I would have stayed out with kart racing, maybe even for another lap, to really help with those fresh tires, because kart racer really has an opportunity now to go for the race win. Gets the fast lap 32.699. Which is a very solid and strong lap time, and let's see if he can make some more out of it. Samba there getting a 3-second time penalty as well. The driver is driving in P15. A lot of penalties here, but as long as Slash does not seem to be able to pick up a penalty, he does seem to be set out sailing for victory. So the main battle will now be who can stay in DRS of each other the longest, whilst saving the most amount of ERS. There's a spinner there, and that is Samba. I should stop mentioning people, because every time I do they spin. It's incredible. Absolutely insane. You know, really close behind the back of the car is Stills BR 508. He is absolutely burning all of his ERS, wants to make the move on Rodas, who's derating ahead of him as well. But it does not seem like he will be able to make a move unless he makes a catastrophic dive here up the inside. Oh my, he did look for it. And I saw it as well, but he was just a bit too far away. Let's see what will happen now then. Slinky outside of the DRS range from Ruti Khaled. It's weird, because you seem like you've got drivers who have really got the pace, really got the hang of it, and who seem to be really quick. And then 2 laps later, they nearly drop out of the DRS. Someone there speeding in pit lane, he will be the first DNF
of today, he will not even he'll leave that. It's just rude because then his AI will be there, still in. He just, yeah, that's not something I would have recommended. Sabi there getting 3 seconds time penalty for multiple warnings as well. But we got the first retirement, which is Iati Samba. He will not be returning. So that's the 5-second penalty is for him. Let's see then. Daniel still on 0% ERS, whilst Slash at least is on double figures, and there's a bit more ERS for Daniel. Meanwhile, Freddy does finally go past Osesco. That's taken a while
for him to really make those moves up. And Freddy is really strong in the race always, but he is unfortunately flashing right now. But Freddy, really strong driver in the race from QRT, which is my old team, so it still has a weak spot for me. But yeah, he's doing really nicely. Yeah, let's see. Everyone is really saving up now, which is an essential part for the race. And we've got 4 more laps to go. Everyone wants to be saving up to be able to make that final move, to give you just that one extra position. Slash is meanwhile flashing. Could say Flash is meanwhile slashing, but yeah. And Daniel, let's see how his ERS is holding on. I mean, he is not flashing, so that says a lot. Daniel better on the ERS management than Slash, but it could be that cartridge can remove warnings. I'm not going to check warnings, because that's up for them to decide too. But if cartridge only has 3 warnings and he thinks he can remove one of them, he is a serious contender here still for the race win, because the grip and the pace that he has compared to these other cars is absolutely immaculate. Lynx has overtaken Francesco here finally at the end of the long straight there, going for a dive and getting it done. Let's see if Van Gans can make a move past Provatux as well on the ERS button, and he is able to sail past him as well. So there will be only 3 more laps, and let's see what happens then. No real overtake seems like is being done currently. And I fall a bit into silence right here, which does summarize this race. When I'm loud, there's a lot of entertainment happening, but there are also some fairly boring moments where it's all just really stabilizing out. Drivers saving ERS, saving their tires, because they all pitted very early. Took Sumeto too much on the inside. They're grabbing his 2nd penalty, I believe. Again, the wrong one. He is indeed on 6 seconds off time penalties. Samba was on 8 seconds, and Sabi is now on 9 seconds. I was going to say he's on 6 seconds, but yeah, as soon as I mention his name, he gets another penalty. I've really cursed Sabi today, haven't I? Slash now really being close up the back of Daniel. He's burning. Daniel is derating there as well. Everyone does not seem to have a lot of ERS, but with most ERS in this straight, it's kart racer. And he's just chilling. He's going to wait and to see it happen all in front of him, and then he will strike later on.
2 more laps to go after we finish the 3rd sector, so pretty much 2 laps and a quarter to go. But a quarter turns into 2 quarters, and 2 quarters turns into 1 quarter. You have 2 more laps remaining. It will all go down. Who will win this race? Will Daniel be able to remove his penalty? Will Slash be able to be victorious in the end? Or will Daniel be able to go from P3 and overtake Slash and win on penalties? That is the real question right here. 2 more laps. They're both flashing. No one really saved the ERS. The pace has been very high all race because they had to drive away from the train led by Lewis in P5. And he does not have any ERS either. So let's see what will happen. Who will win? Who will go out victorious? A bit of a mistake there from Slash. The gap is 8 tenths, 9 tenths. But he'll be able to close really to it, but he doesn't have the slipstream. Kart Racer really close to him as well. There is burning. Daniel is burning because you saw it on the acceleration compared to Kart Racer, but he's not good enough. Daniel does not seem to be able to make it, so he has to make a move where someone will not surprise it. Profitox, meanwhile, is in the pit lane. He will be pitting for the fastest lap attempt. I really rate that. I think it will be a point, or at least take a point away from someone. And we still have 19 drivers going because Yeti Samba is in AI, so he is not really competing. Tails BR, unfortunately grabbing a very late penalty still, means that almost everyone has got a penalty, at least from P9 all the way to P16, everyone has got at least a 3-second time penalty. If you stay penalty clean there, you will be able to get a lot of positions, but unfortunately no one listened to that piece of advice. Slash in P2, but he does have a penalty. VIR Daniel does have a penalty. Wu will be able to come out victorious. Will Slash even go for the move? He's a bit sliding now. The tires are really starting to die off there. Final lap is underway for the French Grand Prix. Let's see who can make a move. Kart Racer there, going up to P3, so that decides it. Already meanwhile, I think on track definitely Slash will win. But we'll have to see who will be able to remove penalties and who won't. But I think Slash is by far the biggest chance there to win. Daniel is pushing because he saw, oh, Kart Racer is coming. He is making his way. Let's just make sure that I will not be eaten up alive by him, because Kart Racer is definitely the quickest person out of track currently. Nico getting a 3-second time penalty here as well. He is in P9. He will be dropping back a lot because he's got now a 6-second penalty. Actually, he does have a 3.2 second margin to him. Ruti Gallet and Toxic Tomato swapping there. But there goes Kart Racer past Slash. He goes into P2 now. Can Kart Racer still profit and go for the lead? He needs to make a move then in the third sector, but they will both be up pens. So he for sure know that that will at least be for one position. Here he comes, Apsi saying in the chat. The NLR engineer, he is feeling it, and he knows it. Kart Racer was the person who was able to save the most ERS. He's done the best ERS saving, and he has 2 lap fresher tires than all of the grid here. Can Kart Racer surprise everyone and go for a move? I said you can make a move in the final corner in Pont. Will he go for it then? 2 more corners to go. Actually it's 3, but 1 real corner here, which is after this long turn corner. Will Kart Racer go for it? He's looking to go up the inside. He's gonna send it. Kart Racer goes up the inside. There's contact there. I'll spin there by Kart Racer. Daniel goes out wide there, and he does not win. It seemingly that Slash will be able to make a move there as well. He will stick behind, but Slash will win on penalties. Slash wins the French Grand Prix ahead of ADT Daniel, and Lewis actually coming in third because of the contact between Daniel and Kart Racer in the end. He counts himself very, very lucky. Oh, my voice is going. I will not have a voice tomorrow at school. I can tell you that. Doing solo comps and stuff. But yeah, that was a mega race there. Daniel and Kart Racer P4, P5. Ruti Gallens who have posted in P6. Slinky in P7. Toxic Tomato in P8. Nico in P9. Fleddy in P10. Then you've got Links, Francesco, Tails BR, Marcel, Rodas, Vengans, Diego Silva, who's still yet to come across the line. He does it right now. He sorts into P17. Then we will wait for Yeti Samba, who left the session, so he will be P20. So P18 then will be Perry Provatox. He will slot itself into P18 with the fastest lap, 31.3. And then Apsi will end up in P19. Driver of the data being links given by the game. I'm not so sure if I agree on that, because for me there's only one real driver of the day. I feel like Kart Racer drove really amazingly here, had the best strategy, had the best pace today, and he really did a lot to try and prove himself, but unfortunately he picked up that penalty which cost him a lot of time. But if he will be able to remove that penalty, he will be able to make some good places back up, and he will at least be P2. So I think, in my eyes, Kart Racer is the driver of the day. But you can see the podium ceremony there. Slash being able to spray the champagne. I believe he's still an ETA driver. The ETA driver there, splashing down the champagne, absolutely celebrating there, and being very, very happy to have won this race.
And here we can see the final standings. I already told them before, but I'll go past it again very quickly. Slash Daniel, Lewis, Daniel. You got two Daniels. Kart Racer, Ruti Gallet, Slinky, Toxic Nico, Fleddy, Links, Francesco, Tils BR, Marco, Grisny, Rodas, Vanguards, Diego Silva, Samba, Provatox, and Sabi rounds off the grid. That has been the French Grand Prix for this week. Next week we will be at the next track, which I'll quickly peek actually. What track will we have? I'll quickly tell the boys no interviews as well. Let's see what the track will be for next week, because drivers will be preparing for that one right there. We have France this week. Next week we'll be having Austria, which was a very good track back in the day, and it's still a very entertaining track. So it will definitely be able to be very entertaining. So yeah, I'll be seeing you guys. Maybe not you guys, because I'm a reserve commentator. I'll be out anywhere. Maybe I'll be back here next week in F4. Who knows? But for now, I wish you all a very happy evening. Hope you got some nice warm bed. And yeah, hope everyone has a good night of sleep. Thank you very much for watching. And I hope you guys will be enjoying F4 and the rest of the PSGL season. My name has been Timon. I would like to thank you guys for watching, and